And my next piece of advice is to just not do it if it doesn't work for you. There are so many ways to eat out there that work for a lot of people. Hey there, my meaty friends. My name is Reed, aka CarnivorousChef. I have been doing the carnivore diet since February 2nd of 2020. In that time, we were in the middle of a global pandemic, and my weight was nearing 400 pounds for the second time in my life. The first time, I had very little in the way of muscle mass, and it was pretty much just body fat, if I had to be completely honest. But over time, I found a diet that worked for me, which was keto, and I started implementing some exercise into my life. I did a lot of walking and powerlifting for the most part, and I was pretty new to both of those, so I was able to gain a lot of strength in that time, as well as lose a lot of weight in conjunction with my diet. However, over time, I just kind of fell off of it. It's very hard for me personally to stick to a diet that is so limited in what I can eat. A lot of people see this as an excuse, but if you don't know me, I'm a chef in real life. So when I first started the ketogenic diet, I went from 408 pounds at my heaviest all the way down to 275 pounds at my very lowest. But once I got to 275, I kind of felt like I was done. People were starting to call me skinny, which was really strange, even though I knew I was still heavier than what a lot of people would consider skinny. I would tell myself that I was on the diet for years after hitting that weight, and over the years I slowly gained the weight again. On average, I was probably between 350 and 360 pounds after my weight gain from that diet, but I still had a lot of muscle mass, and I was able to convince myself that it was okay. You know, I was healthy, I was strong, and it didn't matter. But over time, some things happened. My brother died, and that put me in a pretty deep depression for a good 2 or 3 months. And in that time, I gained about 35 pounds. Which is just unacceptable. With that 35 pounds, it brought a lot of depression and anguish with, my weight again. So at the end of 2019, which is the same year that my brother died, I decided to start making some changes again. And that's where I stumbled across a few podcasts about people talking about the carnivore diet, in particular the Joe Rogan episode with Dr. Sean Baker. And when I finally saw that video, it'd be several months before I even decided to start it. It all came to a head on February 1st, 2020, just before the pandemic was about to start kicking up. It was only rumored about things happening like this. So with things being imminently uncertain, I decided to just go ahead and try it. And this is what my first 7 days looked like. What's going on, guys? I just want to talk to you about my first 7 days on the carnivore diet. To start everything off, I basically cleaned out everything from my house that I knew would be detrimental to the diet. I gave away some things, just random stuff that I had because I've been trying to do ketogenic type diets. And after that first 7 days, I continued on. I'm going to talk about days 8 through 14 on the carnivore diet. What's going on, guys? Week 3 is over, and it's been one hell of a week. Well, it's day 30 of 30 on the carnivore diet. I don't know what to say. I've been very successful with a ketogenic diet before, so this has been an interesting step back into this kind of very low carb eating lifestyle. Yeah, I would say that's a stark contrast compared to now. And then eventually I uploaded my first recipe video. Tough. I've been using this a lot lately. This is McCormick's jalapeno and garlic seasoning. If you can tolerate something like that, it's really, really tasty. And season your egg yolks, a little salt and pepper, and you're done. And then 8 months later, I uploaded the first recipe video to get over 10,000 views. And then not even a month later, I upload my first video where I'm talking about how to survive a restaurant while you're on this diet. To control myself while at work. I usually come in with a positive attitude, and it quickly devolves into a massacre of eating random french fries and chicken tenders and mashed potatoes, just things that are just around on a constant basis. So you see, whenever I did start this diet, we were in the middle of a pandemic, like I said earlier. So I was confined to my home, we weren't open, we weren't doing anything. In fact, we tore the kitchen down, so I was even more active than usual at that point. But eventually we did open in December, and almost immediately my old habits came back in. But I didn't let that stop me from doing this diet or from stopping making videos. You see, I actually found that I liked making videos. I enjoyed the process. I liked making recipes. I still do. I really do enjoy making recipes and filming them and putting them on YouTube. And eventually I would start making really weird recipes that I never thought I would end up making. I would say take all of your meat and spread it out to a ½ inch thick and then cut it into squares, but Wendy's doesn't cut corners and neither do we. And it looked like a burger from a commercial, and I was very happy to see it like this. And this would continue on for about a year. I would upload once a week, you know, new recipe. Sometimes it was a vlog. Whatever, I still had fun making videos, and I had told myself I was going to do this. And near the end of that year, I made a big decision for my life. I moved into a Jeep. I had been wanting to try to live in a vehicle for quite some time now, at least a few years at this point. I was too scared to do it. At the time I made the decision, my last roommate had just moved out probably 2 months prior, and I was in a house in the woods by myself all the time. I would go to work, come home, and be sad. And so when I was sad, I would watch a lot of YouTube. A lot of my time was spent watching people live in a van or a micro camper, whatever you want to call it. And eventually I was just like, why can't I do that? And I did it for nearly a year and a half. And in that time, I feel like I made a lot of fun and interesting videos, and I really did enjoy doing it. But the biggest problem is that there came a theme along with these videos. I became the pork rind guy. These pork rinds for everything because there's so many constraints to this diet that you can't do too much with the meat. You can dehydrate it, you can roast it, you can cook it, you can do all these things, but you can't get fluffy textures, you can't get chew, can't get crunch as easily. And these were things I was highly missing. So as things progressed, I did keep making videos. You've probably seen a lot of them. And eventually, I made my most viewed video on this channel. What eggs you really want to, but you can also save it like this a little. And once it's done to your liking, add your cheese, fold it out onto your plate, and dig in. Please ignore the black square walking by. My buddy did not want to be on. If you're watching this video right now and you're subscribed, you more than likely found my channel from this video, which is great. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. This video was about the same time I started working on my cookbook, Becoming a Carnivore Chef, a cookbook. And over 1,800 people have gotten that book so far, plus my other books. So thank you if you've gotten it, because it really does mean a lot to have a community that supports me. I probably wouldn't be making these videos or any recipe videos if I didn't have people that enjoyed it. So thank you for anything you've done, even if it's as simple as liking the video. So now that I have this video that's just doing really well, I'm more motivated than ever to continue making videos. So at the beginning of 2023, I continued making 2 recipe videos a week. Until those reaction videos, I got lumped in with a bunch of other carnivore people, which is understandable. I'm a fat guy doing the carnivore diet. Haven't watched. Yeah, this guy took a lot of steam out of me. I didn't really think that people would be making fun of me as much as they do, and it really did upset me. But the problem with being upset with it is that there's some truth in it. I started making more and more videos like this. I haven't quite been able to keep up with my diet as well as I want. I've started to hit the point of burnout again with making videos. I know that most of you could care less if I'm burnt out or complaining about it, which eventually culminated into this video. In fact, I'm tired of hearing about how any diet is right for any one person. If you're a raw vegan that wants to eat a cheeseburger once a year and it works for you physically and mentally, then go for it. And you know, I think it still kind of holds true. I don't know if this diet's right for me. I can't stick to it. I work in a place that makes it impossible. And the reason why I don't quit this job is because I absolutely love this job. And yes, it is really hard to stick to any diet while I'm working here. I found that out firsthand twice now. And I've been completely honest about it the entire time. I'm in a kitchen a lot, and it's a professional kitchen. There's random food everywhere all the time. On the days that I'm extremely busy and I found myself in a stressful situation, such as working a line on a kitchen, and I see some bread just kind of sitting on top of the bread warmer, it takes everything in me to not dip that bread in that butter and eat it. Because likely I've been standing there for 3 to 4 hours already, and at this point, but at the end of the day, I've got to ask myself, what do I want? Yes, I want to be healthy. I want to lose weight. I want to continue working a job that I like. I want to continue making videos that I like. But most importantly, I want to be happy with where I am with my decisions. And I want that for you too. And that's why I'm making this video. Yes, this diet can work for you. It absolutely can. It worked for me very well. I lost a lot of weight very quickly doing this diet. But my surroundings don't make it easy. Even in my first 7 days, I say I got rid of everything that would be a detriment to the diet. But I can't do that if I'm working as a chef, no matter where I'm going to be working. But at the end of the day, you have to pick a diet that works for you, because it's all about adherence. It really is. If you can adhere to your diet, it's no longer a diet, it's just what you eat. And my ideas for what I should do for my life are constantly evolving. And I think that you should have a similar mindset. I think you need to evolve with what's going on in your life. If you're able to stick to this and there's no issues with it whatsoever, Cool, that's awesome. I'm very happy for it because I know it's effective. But if you're not able to stick to it and you just live with anguish and worry that other people are judging you because of that, maybe you shouldn't do it. But you don't have to listen to me and how I've done it so far. If you want to do this diet, please do it. My first piece of advice is to give it 30 days. Just 30 days. Pull out a page from a calendar, slap it against the wall, get a marker next to it, and mark off each day that you do it. And the reason why I say 30 days is because if you try 7 days of this diet, you're not going to get any benefits from it. You'll really know within a few weeks if it's going to help you or not. Because there are people that it just doesn't work for. They have worsening of symptoms or just no weight loss whatsoever. And you could be one of those people. But just be open to it and try to be conscious of how you feel about it and what you're doing. And my next piece of advice is to just not do it if it doesn't work for you. There are so many ways to eat out there that work for a lot of people. This isn't the end-all be-all of diets. Yes, there are people that will tell you that this is the only diet that works, which is just factually inaccurate. There's so many cases of people doing low-calorie diet, low-fat diet, low-carb diets, keto diets, Mediterranean diets. Just any diet out there works for you as long as you can stick to it. And if you can't stick to it, don't do it. It's not worth the mental anguish that you're going to put yourself through trying to stick to something you can't do. And that's okay. You tried something to see if it would work for you, and if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. Just move on, find something that works for you. Just don't give up on trying to improve your health. And my final piece of advice is if you're having trouble sticking to the diet, but only certain times when you have cravings, use my channel as a resource. It's free. Just subscribe to the channel. If you have an idea of like, I want mac and cheese, guess what? I have a mac and cheese video that's as close to carnivore as you can possibly get. I have cookbooks as well if you're that type of person, but I don't want you to have to go buy something to do this. My channel is a free resource for you to use, and I want you to use it whenever you think you need it. And finally, I'll say, don't follow my footsteps. Make your own path with the way to your health and your weight loss and all those things that you want. I haven't been perfect on it, you're not going to be perfect on it, and nobody on this earth is perfect with it. If they say they are, they're lying to you. Now, get out there, go enjoy your life, eat some meat if you want to, and have a great year. See y'all soon.